All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is John Hernandez. I am a consultant here at CashSwipe. I've been part of Paul Alex's team for nearly 5 years, helping people learn how to make residual income. You're watching Residual Income for Beginners, where we share real stories, experiences, and strategies on building residual income. Today, we are doing something a little bit different. We are bringing on some of our CashSwipe coaches. So, what's unique about these coaches, they weren't always coaches. They started exactly where many of you started today as clients. They went through the same process going through right now, learning the systems and applying and achieving results. Because they were in the same shoes, they understand the questions, they understand your guys' questions, the challenges, and experiments that come with getting started today. All right, so let's get right into it. Jackie, Rob, and Nathan, how are you guys doing today?
Doing well.
Doing good, John.
Great.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. So let's get into it. So as far as if you guys want to share a little story about you guys and then how you guys got started, and then we'll take it from there. Anybody? Jackie, you want to go first?
Sure.
Ladies first.
Thank you, guys. So just 2.5 years ago, I was doing Amazon. I had been in my 4th year of Amazon, and I was slowly dying. And like most of us, I picked up my phone one evening because I was just so done. It was December 2023, and then I saw an ad from Paul, but it was for ATMs. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I could do that. And then literally like a week after, the whole credit card machine thing, and I was like, oh, I could do that. My family has a restaurant, so I was kind of familiar with it. And so, got on the calls, did my, research, and I just told my mom, hey, I want to start this new business, but you have to be you have to be my first account, because I want to make sure this is legit. Like, everything just, everybody's like legit and good, and this is a good business. And I got my first residual from them and from the restaurant, and I was just like, OMG, this is passive income. And I have never looked back. And now I'm a coach on the CashSwipe team for the Done For You ads. So I did not have this in my bingo cards, guys, 2.5 years ago.
That's awesome. So you started back. You found Paul Alex. You seen it on Instagram or Facebook. There's more people see us. You checked it out. You did it. You went through the same process, and now you're a coach. It's awesome.
Wild.
And then your family was your first client.
Yes, I was just like, I need to make sure, because there's a lot more information about this out here now. So I had to dig up, and the good thing is that he had his whole ATM thing. It had been going for so long, and people were like very happy. Like there was a lot of great reviews. So I was like, okay, this guy's a cop, and he shows his family. Like, okay, this something inside of me was like, you have to do this, and it's wild. I'm just so glad. I'm so glad that Amazon took it all out of me, and that I was desperate for something new.
Well, we're glad to have you. I'm pretty sure a lot of the clients they're excited to have you. Everybody says great things about all you guys. Yay. So we love to have you here. So let's go with the ABC order. We'll go with Nathan, right? Does R become before the N?
N becomes before R, yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Perfect.
Nathan.
So, save the best for last. It's okay.
Exactly. In some ways, my story is actually very similar to Jackie's. I discovered CashSwipe, actually discovered Paul Alex because of the ATM program initially. When I first discovered it, was evaluating doing the ATM program, and the CashSwipe didn't actually exist at the time. So I'm talking to the team. I'm considering doing this ATM thing. Very similar. I'd done Amazon sales, again, just like Jackie. Didn't do well with it. Spent a lot of money, so talking with the team about doing the ATM program, and they mentioned, hey, we're getting ready to launch this new program doing credit card processing. Oh, tell me about that. Because, I was already somewhat familiar with the industry. I have a brother-in-law who had done credit card processing sales back in the day. And so I knew generally how it worked. But what really intrigued me was the cash discount model, because I knew with traditional processing, it often ends up into this kind of race to the bottom. Who can come in and give the merchant the lowest rates and save them, 0.2% here and 0.5% there. And And I didn't want to do that. There's a lot more churn with, the traditional processing as well. And so when I heard about cash discount and being able to come and tell the merchant, look, we can completely eliminate the fees that you're paying to accept the credit card. Well, now that makes that merchant a lot more sticky, right? That they don't have any motivation to leave me to go with someone else because they're paying nothing. And if I provide good customer service, and we've got the Paybotics team on the back end and all the tech support and everything that's there, it's that really appealed to me. So my wife and I talked about it, signed up, and then this is where I'm ashamed to admit I did nothing with it for 2 years. I literally put it on the back burner, got busy. We had an infant at the time. And, over the course of those 2 years, I changed jobs and we moved and a lot of things going on. But the reality is I just procrastinated. I went out and I talked to a few businesses, didn't see any initial success. And so I was like, oh, I'll just come back to this later. And that later turned into 2 years. And then I start seeing success. I start seeing Jackie actually. Start seeing some of the other, other reps starting to have success, and I'm like, oh man, maybe I should do something with this. Like I paid this money for this program.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do something with it. And so a little over a year ago now, told my wife, look, I think I should give this a shot. And I know this is a numbers game. Like I can't just go talk to 2 or 3 people and expect to have success. So I set myself an ambitious goal. I said, I'm not going to quit until I talk to 100 businesses. Now, if I talk to 100 businesses and I can't sign anybody, maybe this isn't for me. I'll just move on. But if I can sign at least one, then I know I've proved that it can work. I've proved that I can do it, and I can figure out how to get better. So that's what I did. I made a list of a bunch of local businesses. And we can go in more into, some of the criteria I looked at and things later, but long story short, I made a list of 100 businesses and just started going door to door and really hit it every chance I had, evenings, over lunch, weekends, talked to 100 businesses in about a month and signed 4 accounts within that first month. And so I said, oh, okay, I can do this. And it wasn't anything special. I had a lot of rejection, a lot of no's, a lot of, fumbling through answers early on. But I started to learn, get better. And that was it. Yeah, that's been a little over a year and a half ago now. And I'm a coach, like Jackie said, helping others get started and do the same thing.
That is amazing. So you started, and you didn't start for 2 years. 2 years. Yep. That's a long time.
I signed up, I paid the money, I did everything and then did nothing with it.
Wow. That's truly amazing. It's honestly, things happen, we're all human, things happen in life, but you didn't just put it in the back burner and, you overcame it. You talked to a lot of these, set a goal, you stayed consistent, and now you're a coach. Now you're teaching other clients to do the business with the same process that you went through. So that's amazing, man. Love it. Rob, tell us your story.
My story is 2.5 years ago. My wife actually saw Paul on a morning news network talking about ATM Together, and we decided to, we both were executives, and we decided to get into the ATM business. And I was like, okay, even got in with my mother-in-law, so and we were starting to scale that. But again, we were both executives. We were both 60-hour-a-week people, try to find locations, do this, do that. And then we noticed that, we were told that the credit card processing was added onto it as well. I was like, okay, we got into that. Still, we were executives. We, 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of thing. It's like, we'll do that when we get time. We'll find time. We'll build on that. We'll do something with that as we get time. That's what everybody's about, is I just don't have the time. You have time for what you make time for. Now, 3 weeks before Christmas in 2024, I got laid off. And I was in my real world working in a collection agency, working with our processor to do the whole cash discounting kind of thing, because we were paying $40,000 a month on average in processing fees. because people that were
Wow.
paying their debts on a monthly basis always wanted to use their card. And we were absorbing the fees. So I was working with our processor for almost a year and a half. In my real world, while this is my side gig. And I've got 20 years experience in the collection industry working with processors. I know the lingo. I know where they're coming from. I understand interchange. I understand all that. And I understand the markups. So when this came into fruition, I was like, okay, this is cool. I'll get to that, on a side gig. Well, I got laid off 3 weeks before Christmas in 2024. I'm in my 50s. I'm not going to say how far into my 50s because it's none of y'all's business. But it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I don't want to find another office job. I don't want to find another executive job. I don't want to do all that. So I went and took our side gig and said, okay, I'm going to go full bore with this. Now in January of 25, this is just January of last year and a half ago, I started, but I also, what can I do? Because I got to help provide. We just bought a house 2 months before I got laid off, a bigger house, 3 times the size of what we were in. So there was a lot of, luckily we got a good price for our old house. So we had a runway. We had a little bit of a runway. Again, my wife makes good money. So thank the God for her. But it was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, I got into call setting, I got into setting, into closing, into anything CashSwipe, because I was that embedded into the society. I believed in everything that was being told me. I followed everything. Did I put it into practice? Not as much, because I had 20% of my time here, 20% of my time here, and then I found I was not accomplishing anything. I wasn't being successful any realm because I wasn't putting my whole focus in. And a lot of you I've known, John, I've known you for a year and a half, at least, if not more.
Yeah, plus.
I used to work for John, and I was not successful because I was like, well, I've got a business I'm trying to grow, but I've also got this I've got to try to do. And so I was not successful in anything. So I just dropped out. I dropped out of everybody's site. I said, you know what? I peace out. I can't do the call setting. I can't do this. I got to go focus on my business. And that's what I did. I went out and I started networking. I went out and I started making friends in the community. I joined the chamber. I got on the ambassador committee. I'm on the board of directors. I meet people nowadays that I've never seen face to face, and people say to me, I've heard of you. That's the kind of thing that I was doing for 9 months in the dark with nobody knowing. I didn't go to CashSwipe on WhatsApp and be like, hey, look at me. I've just landed, 10 more accounts. No, I was one of those where when Paul says, do it in the dark, do it in the quiet, do it in the silence, succeed in silence. That's exactly what I did. Now, I've got 67 accounts, 67 clients. I'm on my way to my networking event that I went to earlier tonight, about 2 hours ago. I got a call from my bank, one of my bank partners, saying, hey, there's this construction company I talked to. They want to talk to you. And there's this Paco's Tacos and Rosie something, 2 different stores that they want to talk with you about doing their processing. I've got people out there working for me, people out there that I've shown value to. Now they're going out there just on a whim and being like, hey, you should talk to Rob. You should talk to Rob. That's all I get all day long. I don't even have to prospect anymore. Not really. I mean, I still go out and I network and, I show my face and I do all the fun events, but I don't have to go door to door to door to door if I don't want to, because every time I turn around, there's got 2 or 3 businesses that are reaching out to me saying, hey, I want to know more. I want to know more about what you've done for so-and-so. Can you do that same thing for me? And that's how I built my little empire, if you will. Now, I'm not making the most on my ROI because I'm one of those that I'm all about volume. I'll eat a bunch of fees. I will pay for a lot of things. If I make $20 a client per month, I consider that a win because they're happy and they're going to tell their friends. You know, every one of my clients I call strategic, because it's not really about volume and about, I'm not going to retire tomorrow. I guarantee you that. But I'm helping my whole community, and that's what I'm all about. That's what makes me happy. And if anybody puts me down and is like, oh, you could do better than that. No, I can't. I'm doing the best because I'm happy and I'm making everybody else around me happy. That's all I care about.
And I love that. And Paul says it all the time. When you're building something, you want to focus on one thing at a time. You don't want to, like you said, 20% here, 20% here, 20%, because you're spreading yourself too thin. And I'll give you an example for, like, say you're starting 2 businesses. You do 80% here, 20% here. Something goes wrong on the 80%. Now you're going to focus 80% on this other business and give this one 20%. And something goes wrong here, then you go back and forth. You're never getting a full 100% of your attention to one thing. And that's how you scale. That's how you definitely scale. And I love the fact that you went dark for 9 months. That's truly amazing. You went dark, you came back with a bang. Like, hey guys, I'm back. Just so you're aware. And it's, the number, like these kids are saying, 6, 7. I had to throw that in there. So, man,
I'm too old for that, and I didn't even think about that. I should have lied and told you 66, but you should have
did. You should have been like
knock 6, one down, Because some of mine are seasonal too, because I even do campaigns. So you name it, any vertical I handle, and that's one thing that's set me aside from a lot of other processing out there is that I don't care what your vertical is, I'll find a solution for you, and I will help you with that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's seasonal, if it's a one-time thing, you're going for alderman in a certain city, by God, I got you. And I've done that. Now, it doesn't gain me anything, but if they own businesses, they're going to be like, hey, maybe we should talk about you taking over my business too. Perfect. I got nothing. It's weird. It's crazy how small this world is. So always believe in the karma, guys. Always lead with karma, because I guarantee it's going to come back.
You're 100% on that. My wife's really big on good karma. Whatever you do, it's always going to come back, either good or bad. And as far as you be solution driven, like you said, always providing that value to our, to these business owners. Because at the end of the day, the big thing that a lot of people would say is like, oh, I'm not good at sales. But we're not trying to sell them anything. We're offering a solution to their problem. They're paying these fees every single month, losing money, where we could completely wipe these fees out and put that money back in their pocket for them to grow their business, to hire more employees, or, to buy maybe the wife a car or something, anything, right? So, but ultimately we're providing a solution to all our business owners that are out there that they're not aware of the cash discount. All right, guys. So for each of you guys, I know you guys are all coaches in different aspects of the business. I'll start off with Jackie. What section are you in for the coaching? So these are the team who knows, or for the people watching know.
Yeah, I am now part of the Done For You Ads coaching team. So I'm the lead coach. So if you're on doing the Done For You ads, we will interact at some point. I was doing coaching for CashSwipe and for beginners. And then once the Done For You ads program started to take off, they were, we did some adjustments, and it's been crazy, but it's pretty awesome to be able to finally like talk one-on-one with CashSwipe like clients and the clients doing the ads. It's been really neat. So yeah, that's what I'm doing now. Closing accounts for people.
Oh, nice. So
yeah.
what is the most common question clients ask when they first get onboarded with you?
One of the common questions is probably just like, how do you do it? Like, how do you do it? Because some of the Done For You clients, they're new. They're completely new. Like they signed up with CashSwipe and then they're like, I want to do the ads. So we get on calls, and I'm just in my mind, I'm thinking like, everybody knows how to do this now, but it's like, I love it. They're like, how do I do this? So I'm like, okay, let's go back to point A. they're like, I'm afraid I don't have anything. So I'm like, okay, let's get you set up. This is what you do. And I'll get on prep calls with them, like before they go see their merchants. And it's like, okay, this is what you do. This is what you're going to talk about. And so it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just kind of neat to be able to help them. And then to get the feedback to say like, you know what, I coming back from the account, like I closed it. It's my first one and I closed it, or getting calls from them like during their meetings, because I'll tell them like, hey, if you're at the merchant and they have a question that, you can't answer, just say, you know what, let me ask my assistant. Like, let me call my assistant real quick. And so I get phone calls like, hey, the merchant's asking me this. And then they go back and they talk to the merchant. And then when they come back to me and say, hey, I signed them up, I'm just like, yes, it's so awesome. It's a lot of work, y'all. Don't get it twisted, but it's like, it's been pretty awesome. It has been really nice to kind of like help people along their journey and seeing them get more confident and have courage. Like, it's great. I love it.
No, that's huge, because when they're starting something new, like anybody, you're nervous, you're scared. That's just a normal feeling.
Yeah.
And when they know they have someone to lean on, which is us, and we come through for them, it becomes real, because all it takes is that one account. They get that one account, they get that one sign up, they get that one payout. They're just like, man, this is real. These guys are coming through for us.
Yeah.
And then it's just a snowball effect, and they get their next account, third account, then they get to 6, 7. I'm gonna keep saying that the whole rest of the time.
All day. But it's so neat because I can tell them, hey, every single coach that you talk to, we started where you're at. And I always tell them, they didn't hire me from another like company to say, hey, can you hurrah our clients? Like, no, I cried in my car. I've like rejected, all the things. So I can literally like give you texture when I'm coaching you, because I know what this feels like. And you're starting something new. Like if you told me to go learn how to crochet, like I'm not going to know what I'm doing. I'm going to have to practice. It's the same thing. So it's been really awesome being able to walk through like this journey with people and realize like, when they doubt, I'm like, no, keep going. You can't quit. This will change your life. Like this will change your life. There's nothing like it.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, you're next. So for CashSwipe, you're a coach. What do you do as a coach, and how do you help our clients?
Yeah. So I'm doing a few things. Work with, I'll give a little bit away here. Work with Rob on helping onboard new clients. Helping them get through that initial process of getting their business set up and answering the questions about how do I do this and that, and going through the modules and all the training and helping make sure that they get all their questions answered there. And then I also do a lot of training and coaching on the tech side of things. So as you get started, as you're getting out and talking to businesses, one of the most common questions I see is, okay, so what equipment do I need to give them? Like, what does this business need? How do I know what equipment to provide for them or to offer them? And so I do a lot of work on that side, helping them understand all the different types of equipment we can offer and what equipment works well in different situations, and what point of sale software is going to be the best fit for this particular restaurant.
No, and I love that. And then some of these questions are coming to us when they talk to me as well. They're like, hey, I don't know all the machines. I say, it's okay. You learn as you go. You're not going to know all the machines. And to give you guys a little bit of background, if you guys are new to what I used to do, I used to be in T-Mobile and for 10 years. And cell phones, manage people, but I didn't know all the phones. I didn't know how I just knew text, call, send a picture, and that's pretty much it. And in the transition to this, like, you don't need to know the machines. That's why you talk to the business owner. You ask them questions and to see what they do with their machines, what they use it for, and that's when you make that decision. Like, hey, you might have this machine right here, but you don't need all that. You just need this basic one right here that I have behind me, and to direct them to the right path. And you're just helping them. You're being solution driven. So for you, Nathan, what do you think? Which resources do you find most helpful for clients when they're first onboarding?
Ooh, great question. This is something that I really appreciate about CashSwipe. When I first started, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, Yeah, a little over 3 years ago. There was not nearly the amount of resources that there are available now. I mean, the basic training was there on, here's how to explain cash discounts, but there are so many resources available now. Once you get signed up, you're going to get access to the program. You're going to be going through all the video modules. They're going to explain everything about how this works, how to answer objections, how to, understand all of the different scenarios you're going to run across. And then you also then have access to, we bring on the different equipment manufacturers to have them come in and do demos. We'll bring on, the point of sales, a representative from the point of sale company to come on and explain how their system works and what makes them better in this situation than that situation, and be able to answer questions. So there's just so much information that's available. If you don't know the answer, you can find the answer because it's available. I'd say a couple of things that really stand out. Number one, in the back end, being able to dive in and learn about the equipment, having all of that available is definitely one of the most valuable resources. And then also, I think the access to the coaches, that's something that also didn't exist when I first started. Like it was, hey, you go watch these videos and then go do it. And so now the fact that new clients have the ability to schedule a call with one of the coaches and say, hey, I need help. I've got this situation. How do I answer these objections? What should I do here? That's something that is really a game changer.
No, 100% agree with you. Having, and that's one of our biggest things that we changed is having 100% unlimited one-on-one coachings. And I had a client once, they were just like, hey, there's no spots available. Are you sure you're on the right one? And he was like, well, I have this. I was like, oh, no, it's not that. It's this one. So I showed it to him. I was like, hey, there's tons of spots, because that is a common question, because we have, thousands of clients. And if we can't attend to all of them, what's going on? And we have multiple coaches. You guys are not just the only ones. So whoever's you guys watching out there, we have more coaches. But that's a big resource, because you're talking to you guys that went through the process, who had success, who's doing it and still to continue to grow the business. Love it. Love it. Rob, now for you, what exactly do you do as far as, and we know you're a coach, obvious, but what's your expertise in when you're helping clients?
I'm not as tech savvy as Nathan is. He's got his way of building and coaching and molding. I've got my way. Mine is about people. Mine's about relationship management. Mine's about getting out there in the public. I've got people coming to me saying, how do you walk into a business? How do you walk into a business and just start a conversation with somebody? My approach is going to be different than Jackie's, than Nathan's. And oh, wait, actually, I need to do a shout out to Nadia, because back in the day, when it came to reaching out to a coach, you only had one to go to, and that was Nadia. Now we've got multiple coaches. So everybody going forward has many different avenues that they can go by. And whoever appeals to them most, as far as that personality is more me, I want to see how this person made it. But yeah, that's all I do, is I teach people how to go and talk to people. I started off, and I went through trainings. I went through all the trainings. I went through this. Hugh taught me so much about don't have sales breath. Don't do this. Don't do that. What did I do when I ran out there? Hey, look what I can do for you. Look at me. You want to sign up with me, right? I was horrible at it. So mine became about, how do I approach businesses without it being creepy, without it putting them off, with knocking down their walls. I've got that natural personality where I like to talk. I like to talk with people. I'm a helper. I'm a caregiver, if you will. And so I would just go into businesses and say, hey, here's my card. My name is Rob, local business owner, starting out. Ain't gonna lie, not trying to sell you anything. What can I do for you? What can I do to help you in your business? Is there anything out there in the community that you wish that you had more access to? Is there anybody that you would like to know, meet with, connect with, work with, coordinate with? Maybe you do something that somebody else does similar, but not quite, that you guys could throw referrals to each other. What can I do to help you? And that turned into, them telling me everything, and then saying, so what do you do? right there, you know you have no gatekeepers. When somebody says, what do you do? All right, well, see this little POS terminal, whatever, that's what I do. And what I do is I try to make sure that the whole community, anybody that would like to have a chat with me, have a sit down, have a one-to-one, and I can explain to you how I can hopefully save you money and everybody else in the community money by doing a different way of processing. There's no charge. You're never going to pay me a dime. You're not out anything but maybe 15 minutes to half an hour of a conversation. Let's schedule a cup of coffee and then go and meet with these people. And it's amazing how that's turned my life around. I mean, it just put people first, put others first, show value, because let's be honest, we don't have, I want to say, the best name out there. I mean, there's some people out there that are bad actors. I'm just being honest. Some people like to do the markups. Some people want to retire next year. There's those type of people out there. So everybody's already got their antennas up thinking, what's this person trying to get out of me? You go in there and you say, hey, you pay me nothing. I'm here to find out what I can do to help you, because I'm a local business owner just like you, small business owner. And I want to help the whole community work together to help build everybody up. How do we do that? And it's amazing. People get caught off guard. They're like, well, I thought you were going to try to sell me something. No, I didn't even tell you what I do. Here's my card. And sometimes I just walk, say thank you. It was great meeting with you, and just walk out before even telling them what I do. Let them reach out to me. Schedule something. Call me and say, hey, you know what? I'd like to set up a cup of coffee with you sometime next week. Cool. No pressure, no nothing. It's just all, hey, relationship building. That's what I do. I relationship build, and that's all I do all day, all week. And then sometimes, like Monday and Tuesdays of every week, I pretty much take the day off. I sit here at my desk. I do some networking, but for the most part, I'm fielding calls from what happened the week before. That's all I'm doing is emails and phone calls and setting up more future things. I'm all about the long game. And that's what I bring to the coaching, is a different aspect. I don't know all the technical stuff. I know enough. I know what I need to know, because I also work with a team. They're the experts. I know. And that's one thing I tell every merchant is as they're telling me all their list of all their wants and needs and what they do and everything, I said, write it all down and be like, I'm about 95% on what I would suggest. I'm going to take everything that I got from you today back to my team, just to make sure I'm not missing out on anything, just to make sure I'm not, I'm stepping over something, or I'm just totally skipping something. But then, yes, I will come back to you with, this is what I suggest. And everybody's fine with that, because you're not shooting from the hip. Oh, well, what you need is this. No, you're taking them serious enough to not just shoot from the hip. You're taking them serious enough to be like, hey, I already know what I'm going to suggest, but I'm not going to leak that. I want them to want more too. Like, I've got a team, and we're going to discuss it and everything. I think I know where we're going to go with this, but I want to make sure you're showing that you're taking them you're being serious with them. You're taking them for real. You're like, I don't, I'm not going to just haphazardly throw something out, So, and that goes a long way, folks. That goes a long way, because people, especially nowadays, and granted, I am in the Midwest, and I know not everybody is. I'm in the state of Missouri, so I'm smack dab middle of the country. Different breed here, I ain't gonna lie, than from the coasts. But it's one of those where it's like, hey, it's real people. All right. And then make sure and do the follow-up. You've got to make sure and do the follow-up. I'll walk in there, talk with them, and say, hey, this is what the conclusion I came to, or me and the team came to. And this is what we would suggest, and this is how it would look step by step by step. And so far, that's been working great, obviously. But that's what I try to teach the new people, is that, hey, you don't have to have all the answers. It's funny, because people that have been in the program for 2 weeks are like, hey, I've got this place. I'm like, okay, have you even been through the whole tutorials yet? Great that you have a place, but do you even know what you're talking about? Are you an expert? Are you in the field yet? Are you that person that can be like, hey, this is what I got. This is what I know. I granted, hey, good gusto. I like that. Way to, and if you need help, you've got a team here to help you. But we want to make sure that you're not going out there and saying things that you're not 100% correct on, or you're not 100% sure on. That's what I do is I talk with, my coaching is making sure that people have those expectations, but that they're realistic, that they're not going out there trying to shoot for the moon. Like, hey, I'm talking to a Hilton. Okay, let's back that up a second. You're 30% in your in your course. Let's bring that in, and let's be realistic, and let us help you get to where you need to be, where you can talk to any Hilton you want to.
I love that, and I love the approach that you took. It's something different. You're going into the business, and you're not even telling them what you do. You're just talking to them, offering, I don't want to say a problem, but you're talking to them to trying to find a problem and to have a solution for them. And they're just like, well, what do you do? That's a gem right there, guys. For all you guys watching, that's a gem, because there's different. Everybody has their own approach, and like you said, we will train you on different ways on how to approach business owners. But you don't want to I don't want to say mirror. You don't want to just say word for word on what we tell you, because you want to make it your own. You want to make it just flow natural. So you just pick and choose what you like and then make it your own. And that goes for everybody, because, I done it before. I read a script and I just sounded like a robot. And they called me out on it. They were just like, are you reading a script? I was like, no. But, I love that. Relationship building. That's amazing. Now, as far as since we're on the same community, what do you guys think as far as like the interactions in the community? Like, how has that helped our clients, and also how has that helped you guys as well, to making sure that everybody's engaging? Because we're in a community where everybody's on the same page as far as looking to grow and looking to make money. So we have a community for clients only. What do you guys think is like one of the best parts of having that community that helps our clients grow? And I'll start with Jackie.
Accountability. 100%. Yeah. When I started doing it, I don't think we had school yet. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nate, right?
No, we had Facebook at the time.
Right. That's right. Facebook. And it was great. But now the accountability and the coaching and the courses, and there's just so much that I feel like if you're not succeeding, it's like a you thing, because there's only, the resources. Like if you talk to Michael Santee, he'll be like, y'all are spoiled. I had nothing. And yeah. And then when I got started, I'm telling you guys now, I didn't have this. So there's literally I call it CashSwipe College, because you're investing in a future. Like you're investing in learning a skill to start your own business. That is insane. And I was just thinking about this earlier, and I was just like, I don't know. I don't think the clients are realizing that they have access to, which I'm going to just like brag on all the coaches right now. Like, we are like the best, I feel like, in the industry. Like nobody is doing this. So you have Nate. Like if I have a terminal question, I'm like, Nate, help me. And like networking, it's Rob. And if I need somebody to like give it to me straight, I'm like, Coach Nadia, I need to jump on a call with you. And I just think, yeah, it's the accountability that this whole community, if you're doing your part and you're not making excuses and not crying and not whining, because there's no crying here, guys. I feel like it's just, it's the community is pretty insane, and the accountability, and we're not going to let you fail if you're putting in your 100%. If you're putting it in, I can already tell there's people that are just like, they get beat up, they get knocked down, they get rejected, and they're like, it's the name of the game. And I'm like, you're going to make it. You're going to freaking make it, So yeah, the community, it's the accountability. And if you're doing your part, we will not let you fail
No, and
on
you're
our
100%
watch.
right. And you're 100% right. Accountability and staying consistent and disciplined, because at the end of the day, and I say this all the time to my kids, motivation fades, but consistency stays. Your discipline will stay. And we talked about this earlier this week. It's just having that victim mentality and just saying like, why me? Why did this person say no? And you're at the end of the day, and I'm just keeping it real, you're just playing the victim. And people will, some people want to be able to invest into the self, but they don't have the opportunity, or they're not in the best financial place to invest into the self. And and then you surround yourself with other individuals who are, rooting for you, that want you to win. So I love that. It's accountability. Don't have that victim mentality, because that will definitely hold you back in anything you do in life.
100%. And this is going to show you what you are made of. And you can either quit and cry about it, or you could learn from it and literally just, I am not the same person I was 2.5 years ago. Absolutely not the same person. So you can learn from it, get knocked down, get back up, go ahead and cry and do your thing, but you need to get back up. You cannot quit in this. You cannot quit in life. Because if you quit this, the next thing that you invest in, or the next thing that you want to do, you're going to quit in that too. So you're here, make up your mind, decide, and just move forward,
Yeah, if you say you're gonna do it, right? Like, don't just like, oh, I can't do it. Like, no, you have everything you need to be successful. And Jackie, I know, because a lot of people watching, I get this asked a lot, because I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people are looking into this. They say they're introverts. And I know you used to be an introvert. I don't know if you still consider yourself an introvert,
Yes,
but can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, I still am a 100% introvert. I love being quiet in the dark in my home. That is my happy place. But it was a huge struggle, because all of my work has always been with me. I do bookkeeping for my family's restaurant. I'm a commercial actor, so that's usually a script with myself. Like, I'm the mom, or it's a 1 or 2 days, so I don't have a cast or a crew. And then Amazon was also alone. So this was beyond difficult for me. I'm talking about anxiety, panic attacks walking in, like before I would walk into merchants, sitting in my car and crying, and literally getting out of my car and saying, Jackie, you're not going to die. That was like my mantra. Jackie, you're not going to die. You're not going to die. And then I would go and literally just drop off a flyer, and I'd come back out and I'd be like, oh my God, like, okay, that didn't kill me. Like, so it was literally like 1 flyer a day, 5 a week. And just learning. And like Nate said, like stumbling over my words, pointing at the machines, walking out and being like, what the heck did I just say? So when people are like, I don't know what to say. Yeah, that's gonna happen, and you're gonna slip up, and you're gonna walk out, and you're gonna want to just die because of what you just said. But this is all part of the process. This is the beauty of this, because you walk out and you're like, oh, I can do that different. So I literally, I tell introverts, like, you literally have to learn social skills, and that's okay. We have to learn social skills, how to enter a conversation, how to exit, and give ourselves very small goals, because for introverts, or for a lot of people, goals are overwhelming. They were for me. So when Paul was like 30 accounts a week, I'm like, you're high. It's not gonna happen.
I love that.
Yeah, I was just like,
Paul, if you're watching this,
yeah, I know.
crazy.
Sorry, Paul. But I'm like, no, for me, it had to be 5 in a week. And then those 5 a week came 5 a day. And then, yeah, baby steps and social skills, honestly, and failing and crying. Yeah.
It's all part of the process.
It is.
For growing, because if you're comfortable, then you're not growing. You have to continue to be uncomfortable to grow. And that's just the name of the game. And you don't, you grow, you get better every single day, 1% better every single day, which is great. And it just comes a time, and then sooner or later, it just be second nature to you. Whatever you're doing, you just build that routine.
Yeah.
Now, and I'm gonna, before we end this, I know, Rob, you said creepy, like a creepy approach. I need to find out what you meant by that, because that was pretty funny. You said don't be creepy when you go to a business, but I'll get back to that. And then as far as Nathan, for you, because you have you said you started 2 years, you didn't do anything, and then you switched to now. But I guess for you, what let's see, what do you think is the most valuable thing that you could tell someone that's just starting this business?
Good question.
Fine.
I mean, I
Client
think,
just started, they're
yep.
nervous, they're anxiety, they're excited, they have all the above. What's one thing that you find like it could be the most valuable for them, and then for them to stay on that path?
I think Jackie hit on something really important, and it's just that get out there, be consistent, keep trying every day to get 1% better. Let's just a little bit better each day. You don't have to know all the answers. You're not going to know all the answers. I don't know. Nobody knows all the answers. And so you're never going to get to the point where you know everything. But if you focus on making it about them and how you can help them, being a problem solver and a solution finder, as opposed to trying to sell something. I think we've all done it starting out. You get in there, you just like, hey, here's everything I could do for you. And they're like, oh, I'm not interested. But if you make the focus really about them and make it very clear, you're there to help them. Hey, like Rob was talking about earlier, just getting to know them, finding out about what their problems are with their business. Maybe it's something totally unrelated to the payment processing. I actually had one of my first, in fact, it was my very first account that I signed. I kind of told him about a cash discount and how we could save him all this money. And he said, so that all sounds great, but I've got this one problem with my current system. If you could solve this problem for me, I would switch even if you didn't save me any money. Okay, great. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
I looked at it, and we had a solution for him. I was like, yeah, we could fix that for you. And he signed up on the spot. Okay, great.
That easy, right? It's just
easy.
Finding a solution for their problem. We're being solution driven.
Yep. And then I guess one other thing that I would say is just take action. Don't stop. Don't do what I did. Don't wait around for 2 years. I had a victim mentality. I was making all the excuses in the world as to why I couldn't do it then. And now I kick myself. That's 2 years that I wasted. I could be so much further along. But imperfect action is going to beat inaction every single day. Mm-hmm. It's okay to mess up. Go take that imperfect action.
Yeah, accept it. We're all going to mess up. It's just part of the process. But it's just what you do with it. You just keep moving forward. You learn from it and you keep growing. Now, Mr. 6'7" Rob, we're gonna keep it like that for the rest of the day. 6'7" Rob. For you said not to have a creepy approach. I don't know. Give me an example. Like, have you had a creepy approach with that? Because I'm really interested.
I'm not saying that I was, but looking back on how I approached, I am want to punch myself in the face, on some of because I can even vividly go back, and some of the best, they were going to be prime. I mean, these were just, these were my golden gooses, and walk in there and be like, hey, I've got flip charts. And looking back on it now, it's just like, dude, what were you thinking? And it is something where you don't know what you don't know, and you think that, okay, I'm not doing all the bad things I'm told not to do. I'm not doing that. I'm just being me. I'm just whatever. But looking back on it, that wasn't me being authentic, wasn't me being real. I'm not a sales guy. I don't ever want to be a sales guy. I never wanted a sales position. I was always operations or blue collar or whatever. But I was never one of those where, and I've got buddies that are sales. I'm talking with them. I can feel the ooze, the sales ooze off them. Even if they're not trying to sell me, we're having a bourbon or something. It's just, and I felt like I was coming across that way to some of these business owners. And that's why I had to pull everything back and be like, okay, we're not doing this because A, it's not producing any results. B, there's got to be a better way.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the kind of person, I've always been a giver my whole life. Everything that I've done in this world, whether it's been serving in the military, whether it's been doing hazmat and disaster relief and recovery, everything has been about helping others. It's been about putting other people first. So why, with my extensive knowledge and many years, many decades, would I try to change that up and be something I'm not? So then I decided, you know what? No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do what I know best. It's either going to work or I'm going to end up having to go get a job at Amazon or something, And it come to find out, people enjoy what I have to offer. I joined the chamber. They made me an ambassador after going to a couple ribbon cuttings. They voted me onto their board. This past 4th of July, I was the MC for a 1,500 runner event called the Firecracker Run at our local minor league baseball stadium. I had a blast, and I got to talk. And I know, Jackie, this is probably making you like, oh my God, I would die. But there are outgoing people. There are extroverts that secretly are introverts, because I don't like rejection. I don't like getting up in front of people. I don't like that. I do it because it's like being a fear of heights. I have a fear of heights, but I went skydiving because I don't want that to be a thing. I'll tackle it face on. Every time I get up in front of a meeting and it's my turn to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's that bubble guts. There's that little butterflies in the stomach when you're like, I don't really want to do this. Mm-hmm. But you do it. You push through it because the alternative is even worse. Okay, I'm building something for myself. I'm building something for my family, for the future. I'm trying to build a legacy here, and I'm building a name in this community. That's my goal. And I've got these little, you're minor, bad feelings or making you feel like, uncomfortable or whatever. Push that stuff aside, because what you're trying to push for is bigger than just these minor and, being uncomfortable, So that's, and as far as about being creepy, just be you. Don't try to be something you're not, because you will come across as being inauthentic. And that's not what you want, because it doesn't matter if you have the best solution ever. If you come across a certain way and people don't get the right vibe off you, it doesn't matter what you can do for them. They're going to be like, thanks for coming in. Have a great day. Don't let the door hit you. That kind of thing. So now I'm going to go out there and I'm going to champion everybody around me, and I'm going to be happy for everybody, try to help everybody out, do what I can. They want to have a conversation with me, great. Go with the attitude like, I don't need you as much as you need me. And if you, not saying say that out loud, definitely don't say that out loud, but if you go in with that vibe, like, hey, cool, you know what? Hey, this is me. This is what I'd like to do for you. Have a great day. But if it's one of those things where they don't allow yourself to get upset if you get a no, or if you feel like, well, I got rejected. No, you didn't. You hopefully made a friend. That's what you do. Go out there and try to make friends with these business owners. I'm not saying, or acquaintances, good acquaintances. There we go. If you don't want to be friends, just do that for them, and you'll never get a no in your life. That's the one thing. You go in there and just saying, hey, I just want to try to be an acquaintance with you and try to be a partner out there in the community with you. If you don't want to do business with me, totally get it. Cool. Mm-hmm. If you're happy with what you got, because no isn't always a no forever. No, it may just be a no for now, because I don't know enough yet about you. I've got a dog store, not a grooming, but treats and all sorts. Wonderful people. She didn't want anything to do with me. She's got Square. She's doing this, but she went through a Goldman Sachs program that taught her about cost savings and this and that. I spoke with her again too, and she's like, we need to talk. But she knows me. I mean, I've gone in there. I've even adopted a dog, not on trying to get her business. I just adopted a dog because I wanted one. But it's one of those things where you make friends with people without trying to put business in the middle of it. And it's amazing how that turns into other things. So it's playing the long game. Ain't gonna lie. It's not going to get me retired again, like in 9 months, but it is one of those things where if it makes you feel good and you make a friend out of it and you eventually, then what's wrong with that? Have fun with this. That's what this whole journey should be about, is if you're going to do something, have fun with it, make some money off it. And if you're like me and just going for the long game, great, because I've got the best friends in the world. And one thing I wanted to piggyback on Nathan and Jackie is that the guy I call my best friend, I met through networking. Now he owns a mattress store. He's gotten me a mattress store up 2 hours north of me, but I don't have his business. And the reason why I don't have his business is because his guy that does his processing just bought 2 king bed setups from him last year. So he tells me every time I see him, he's like, I'm waiting for that guy to tick me off because he's gone and I'm going with you. But he feels bad.
Yeah.
And I tell him every time, it's like, dude, I'm not going anywhere. You're fine. You're fine. I don't need your business. I'd love to have your business, but don't worry about it. Don't fret over it. So as far as that whole getting the no's or getting rejected, or I've got my best friend is not even using me for his processing for his business. And I'm okay with that because he has a reason. And it's like, hey, but if he's going to keep bringing me other businesses, okay, you know what? Don't be my client forever then if you're going to keep, and these other places are doing better than him. So, there's that too. But yeah, it's to piggyback on the rejection and the don't feel rejected. My best friend, it doesn't use me. I'm cool with it. All my best friends, well, not all, but a lot of my best friends, they don't use me yet. That's fine. I'm not going anywhere. When you're ready, I'm right here. And as long as you're there as that resource, that's going to make you successful long term.
And you're 100% right. When people say no, it means not right now. Just because they said no the first time, the third time, it means not right now. There's always it just takes that one time that you visit them and, things change. Something small change. And they're like, you know what? Let me hear you out. They see what you're talking about and just take it from there. But all right, guys, we're coming towards the end of the interview. So before we get off, I need just from each of you guys 1 words of encouragement for anybody that's possibly looking to starting or anybody that started already, to like some of their clients that just got started this week, this month, last month. Any words of encouragement and also any words of encouragement that someone's looking to possibly get into this. We'll start with Nathan this time. We'll give Jackie a break.
All right. I was skeptical when I first heard about this because I'd done several other things in the past. I tried multiple other things to make money on the side and to have residual income. And it's real. And when you get that first check, when you get that first residual deposit, it makes it very clear. It's not, this isn't a get rich quick scheme. There is work involved. There's a lot of work involved. But once you get a business set up and going, money keeps coming in every month.
Mm-hmm.
And some of my merchants I talk with, maybe once a month. Some of them I check in every 6 months, 3-6 months, send them a text. Hey, how's it going? It can kind of vary in terms of what's involved ongoing, but having that, this is the closest thing to passive income I've ever come across. And the opportunities are there. I've got accounts where I'm making $100 a month. I've got accounts where I'm making over $1,000 a month on a single account. I'm working with helping with another client right now in another state where they've got this big lead that's doing $2 million a month in processing, and I'm helping them work to close this deal. Yeah, I mean, what's 1% on $2 million a month?
That's 20 grand right there.
Yeah, from one account.
Mm-hmm.
So there's opportunity out there. Yeah.
Jackie's like, we're business partners.
It's technically a company that has a bunch of locations.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I'm working with another client who has a lead for a store. You know, this particular owner owns 2 stores, but they're part of this group of 300 other stores across the nation. And they said, look, if this works well, I want to introduce you to all 300 other locations. I mean, and they're fairly large locations. They're doing $100,000 to $500,000 a month each. You know, so what would 300 locations doing $100,000 a month be for you? I mean, there's real money here. It's not a get rich quick scheme, and you have to put in the work. You have to be willing to get out and talk to people and be consistent about it. But it absolutely can be life changing. And what I love most about it is I get to help people. I'm not there trying to sell them on something that they don't need. I'm coming in saying, I can solve your problems. I can save you money. I can put thousands of dollars back in your pocket that you can use to, you know, go take a vacation, spend more time with your family, be able to grow your business. I'm coming in and giving them answers to and solutions to problems they didn't even know they had. And it's that part is incredibly rewarding, very fulfilling. So if you're on the fence, it's worth it.
Love it. Jackie, some words of encouragement for someone that's just started or someone that's looking to start.
Yeah. For people that are already in the program, I think I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Like, quitting is not an option. It just isn't. And for people that are on the fence, you're here for a reason. You have tuned in. You've been tuning in. You've been wondering. You've been asking questions. It's already there. So it's time to take the next step. Are you going to do it, or are you going to not do it? Stop messing around. This is your life, you know?
Yeah, you're here for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love it. Rob.
Yeah, I'm 6'7". Nice. I got you, John. No, honestly, I am in my 50s and I've spent my whole life trying to figure out what do I want to do when I grow up. And I'm at that point where I don't have to ask that question anymore. I get to go out and do whatever I want. I get to go out and plan my day however I feel. Not in an office. I'm not following somebody else's itineraries, none of that. And I go out and help people. I mean, I've got 2 different groups, organizations in this area wanting me to run for different cities to be mayor of my local cities, one that I'm living in and one next door. So but I'm not anything special. I guarantee you I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I go out there, I have fun. I champion others and I help promote others and encourage them. And I try to make a living along the way. Yeah. And I try to do good for anybody around me. If you go out there with the purest intentions, it's amazing what response you'll get in return. Now, again, I'm in the Midwest, so I can't speak for every area, but what hurts in trying that? You know, it doesn't hurt anybody if you're going out with the purest intentions, trying to do good because you're going to build yourself wealth. You're going to build yourself a passive income. Like Nathan said, getting that check each month is like, wow, I actually get paid to do what I'm doing. Okay, that's craziness. And I get to set my own hours. I get to do what I want when I want. That I've never had that my entire life. So now I'm loving it. And I would never turn this in for nothing. And I'm glad. Now, like Nathan and Jackie have said, it takes work. You've got to put forth the effort because nothing comes for free. That's one thing I tell new people and people that are in the program is that don't think that just because you sign up that all of a sudden everything's just going to land in your lap. That's not how this works. You get the blueprint, you get the direction, you get people like us talking with you and explaining to you how to do things the right way and encouraging you and getting you through the process. but you have to be the one that actually boots on the ground, get out there and actually do it. Now, if that's something that sounds like you're capable of, then great. There's no other arena that you would want to get involved in than this. Because no matter what, if I decided, to retire in 5 years, I'm still got money coming in as long as I'm keeping my clients happy. So 401ks, this, that, that's great and all, but I've got current income just coming in. And like what Nathan said, you get some of those big accounts, and I've got some that I'm working on. Work with banks. I get to work with banks, small town banks that, we don't want to, our merchant service guy, we don't know who that is. So can we use you? Oh, well, I guess, make friends. And it's amazing. All you do is make friends all day long. And who doesn't want to do something like that? Where you're putting smiles on people's faces, and you're smiling, and you're getting paid to smile, and oh my God, there's just a lot of smiling everywhere. So yeah, that's what I'd tell people, is that push forward. Make sure that you're doing what you need to do to get out there. If you have questions, don't hide your head in the sand. Reach out to your coaches, your RMs, whoever, or if you haven't even signed up yet, what are you waiting for? It is something out there for everybody. Doesn't matter if you're an introvert, an extrovert, somewhere in between. We've got you covered, because we know how to get from point A to success.
Can I even add to that real quick, Rob?
Yeah.
John?
I guess.
Fine. So, we're talking a lot about, boots on the ground. You got to go out there and you got to work for it and you got to do it. Yes. But also, CashSwipe has now done this thing where if you don't have the time, if you are, working 60 to 70 hours a week, you own a business, like now we can do this for you, which is insane. Some of our done for you ad clients, legacy clients, they own businesses, so they're just like, I don't have the time to do this, but this is something that I want to build for my future. I'm just like, now that's an investment. So now there really is no excuses. I don't have the time. Yeah, we can do that too. We got you in that department too. So it's literally, there is something for everyone. If you're like, I don't have time, and I don't have time to learn, and I got kids, because there's moms on here that are like single mom. And I'm like, yes, we got, we have that. So yeah, there's kind of no excuse anymore.
No, you're 100% right. With the done for you ads was a complete game changer, where business owners are contacting us. When I mean us, our clients, to get information on how you could be helping them save money. Complete game changer. Change the game. Shout out to Nick and Philip for helping us with that. So we have, like you said, we have something for everybody. But all right, guys. Well, thank you guys again for joining us today. Whoever, to our audience who's watching this, these are our coaches, with some of our coaches that are helping you through the process. Again, they were in your shoes. They were clients. They went through the same process you guys went. Not the newer ones, but the older ones. But we have improved since then. So they know exactly what you're going through. They went through the same experience, have had similar questions. But these are the guys that now are helping you scale your business and making sure you're going through the process, and also holding you accountable. Because at the end of the day, there's accountability that needs to be taken for yourself. All right, not just us. We will hold you to that standard. And I know we always give Nadia a shout out, and Nadia will call you out.
100%.
She will call you.
Yes, she will.
But you'll feel good about it. You will feel good about it. It's just like, damn, she called me out. Damn, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it happy. I don't want to get called out again. But that's the part of that's part of being the CashSwipe family. You feel good about it. Anytime you get off these calls, you feel great. You get yourself, sometimes we got to check ourselves, because then you don't want to have that victim mentality. You have two paths to take. Being successful is hard. Being not in the best situation is hard. Choose your battles. Which way do you want to go? Being successful, it is hard, or being, and not in the best situation is hard too. Again, which one do you want? 6, 7. Just kidding. I'll leave you guys with that. I got to leave it there with that. But all right, guys. Again, thank you guys for coming. Jackie, Nathan, Rob, thank you guys again. Appreciate you guys. All right. So
Awesome.
Again, this is John. My name is John Hernandez. Make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel, Residual Income for Beginners, and we will catch you guys on the next time. Peace.
Thank you, John.
All right, guys.
Bye,
Hey,
guys.
guys.